so let's just take one piece of Insulbright, because we're going to work on that first. Okay, and what I'd like you to do, down the middle of a ruler, you should have a 45-degree angle. Put that against one edge of your, the 45-degree angle against one edge of your side, and then from the corner, come down and mark 3-inch line. You can just see I've just done that with a bit of pink there, okay? And then making sure that you are indeed, you know, lined up. So if I put my 3 1/4 on that line, I should be going straight across now. Yep. And draw yourself a line to start working with. We only need the one to start, because once we've got the one going, we know where we are. Then, cut. So having drawn that lovely pink line, I want you to take your red and take whatever you're using as the trim and put them pretty sides together, but make sure that the trim is equidistant, so it's hanging over both sides of the red. Then put that down just on that pink line. Okay, so you've got the hat and the trim with going down at the same time. Put a couple of pins in there. It's just a straight stitch. We're going to do 1/4 inch all the way through the Insulbright, 1/4 inch straight stitch all the way down. So we've laid that down in the way I just showed you on the video, and we're going to do 1/4 inch seam all along. Take the pins out as we go. And right off the edge. Okay, so now I hope you can see that, and I'm just going to pop a pin in to keep that out of my way at the top. Alright, and now we can start working with the next item, which is the pink for the face. Alright, and this time we're going to lay it down to match where we've just done the trim, and we're going to lay that right across, making sure that it fits both the ends here. So we can lay that across, and I'll just pop a pin in so it doesn't move. Put that under my needle, starting right off the edge. And do 1/4 inch seam all the way, making sure that I'm still in line. Yeah. These are very, very quick. So now I can take that pin out and I can fold his face down. Yeah. And I'm going to pop a pin in there just to hold that nice and flat for me. And I'm going to get my last piece, which is on mine is a bit of furry fleece. Work out for myself which is the right way up. So pretty side down on the bottom of that, lining up with the bottom of that pink. Okay, and again making sure I'm equidistant. Yeah, and then under my needle, 1/4 inch. All the way across. Now I can fold that back, yeah, and I'll just, have I got another pin please? No. So I'll now go back to, but you can see now that that's basically our face. Alright, so I just brought this back from the sewing machine, and obviously, you know, he's on point, this chappy. So now, when I've got it sort of pinned down, I'm going to lose my eyeballs. What I can do next is to trim it. Okay, just make it more manageable and let the dog see the rabbit, so to speak. So I'm going to just turn it over, place my 6.5 inch ruler on the back on the one piece of Insul Bright that we can see. Okay, and then we are going to trim rotating board. Oh, I still can't hold on to the damn thing. We're going to just trim off all the bits. Right, so I've just trimmed away all the bits that we do not need. Let's flip that back to the front. So now you can see it's coming up more like we want it. And what we need to do now is I am just going to put a couple of pins in. Yeah, just to hold it up out of the way from there. Top while we work on it a minute. Okay, so what's the next thing we've got to do? Well, we've got to put in his moustache, and we've got to put in his covered button and his 2 other eye buttons before we can go any further. So I need to take my template now, and using paper scissors. Oh, don't lose everything. Take your paper scissors. I'm going to cut out my template to use on the additional bits of fleece. You could use felt, you could use, I mean, you could do all this in very ordinary white, you know, just ordinary white fabric. You don't have to use fleece or anything, but I just think it gives it a little bit more texture to it, so I enjoy using that. Right, so that's that ready to go, and obviously, you know, you can get these from the file section on Crafty Sew and Sew's Facebook page. Just download it as a PDF, print it out, and then use it. Okay, so now I am going to get back my fleece, and I want to cut 2 of these, don't I? Yep, so very roughly I'm going to say, well, if I want 2 of them, it's got to be that long. Oh, forgetting that these are paper scissors. So it's got to be that long, and I want to double it over, so it's probably going to be that wide. Alright, that's my bit of fleece out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to say, do it from the inside. So fold it over, put my template on top, pin it. So I want 2 pieces now. So I'm going to, because this is all curves, I'm going to get out my 25mm rotary cutter, okay, because that goes around curves far better. Alright, so be fairly firm, because I'm going through 2 layers. of fleece. Okay. Going on. Right, that'll roughly do it. Okay, so now I can take off my pattern and I'm going to sew these two together. The nice side inside, and it is a bit rough for the moment, but don't you worry about that because the sewing machine will sort that out. I've got to do a 1/4 inch all the way around. However, I need to leave myself a turning gap, so I am going to just pop in a couple of pins so I know where to stop and start, and I'm going to go all around the outside and stop there, back stitching it there. So I've got a bit of an edge that I will need to just turn under.